Welcome to CarGurus UK, where today we're talking about our top 5 Mercedes-AMGs of all time. There's nothing quite like an AMG, is there? You just hear those 3 letters and you think thundering V8 engines. For years, AMGs were extraordinarily powerful sledgehammers. They were not sharp, they were not precise, they were blunt instruments, dripping with character and performance. But around 15 years ago, AMG decided it wanted to be taken seriously, and so it started engineering its performance cars to the very highest standards. And nowadays, many of its road cars are among the most rewarding and exhilarating vehicles of their type. Now, there's one car that you will not find in this list, and that's the forthcoming AMG 1, the hypercar, the one that's got the same powertrain as Lewis Hamilton's Formula 1 car. Now, presumably, that's going to be a phenomenal thing, but nobody outside of the company has driven that car yet, and until they have, well, we don't know how it's going to turn out. It could be a complete mess of a car, although I doubt it. If you're in the market for a used Mercedes-AMG, or for that matter, any used car, head on over to cargurus.co.uk because there are tons of really good quality used cars there from top-rated dealers. Remember, if you don't agree with any of the cars on my list or you think I've left one off, let us know down there in the comments. So, in no particular order, number 1 on my list, I've got the SLS AMG Black Series. I mean, even without that engine, it's one of the most sensational performance cars there's ever been. There's the way it looks, particularly with that Black Series body kit. It's got those stunning gull wing doors. It's exceptionally good to drive, pin sharp steering. It's got an amazing front end. It just darts into corners at seemingly any speed you choose. It's an incredibly evocative place to sit in that cabin because you've got this view over that enormously long bonnet. It's a brilliant car, even before you factor in that engine. And then you factor in that engine and the car just blows you away. A 6.2 litre V8, it's high revving, but it's got loads of power and torque, so it thumps through the mid-range like a turbo engine, and then it explodes at the top end the way only a normally aspirated engine can. That Black Series is phenomenal. Next up is a very different kind of AMG, although still a very powerful V8. It's the current E63 S, and I think it's best with an estate body. Twin turbo 4 litre V8, more than 600 horsepower. It's a big car, so it's got bundles of space in it, but it handles really well. It's got quite a brittle low-speed ride quality despite the air suspension. That ride improves a lot with a bit of speed, but at low speeds, it can be a little bit busy. It's remarkable how agile and responsive that car is, given it's so big and so heavy. It's the performance, really, that blows you away. More than 600 horsepower. It goes like the clappers, and that engine sounds fantastic as well. The car has 4-wheel drive, so it gets all that power down to the road, particularly a wet road, no drama whatsoever. But you can switch it to rear-wheel drive mode and smoke the rear boots like a true AMG should be able to. Another AMG, another V8, in fact the same V8, 4 litre twin turbo, this time in a very different sort of car, the AMG GT. Now, I reckon the AMG GT is one of the very few modern cars on sale today that could be described as beautiful. I think there are some fantastic looking cars out there, but beautiful cars? Only a handful. The AMG GT though is one of them. It's kind of understated and it's gorgeous to look at. The GTC is the kind of mid-range one, and for me, that's the sweet spot because it does have that wider rear end with the wider track, which makes such a difference, and rear wheel steering. Lesser models don't have that. But it doesn't have stupid tyres that hate the rain like the GTR and the GTR Pro, and it's therefore got a bit more usability about it, and it's got a bit more performance than some of the lesser models, the GTS and the standard GT. So it's right there in the middle of the lineup, right in the sweet spot. So apart from looking fantastic, it's brilliant to drive. It's got so much body control, unbelievable traction given how much power there is, almost 600 horsepower, goes like hell, sounds fantastic, and it's got this incredible cabin as well that you just love sitting in because it looks so distinctive. Number 4 on my list is a very special AMG indeed, the CLK-GTR AMG. Don't be fooled by the way it looks. It really was a road legal car, built to homologate Mercedes' sports car of the time, which just hoovered up race wins and championship titles around the world. Although it never won the big race, it never really starred at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Apart from looking the way it does, like it's just driven out of the paddock at Le Mans, it's got a sensational 6.9 litre V12, high revving, more than 600 horsepower. Just imagine if you heard that thing rumbling down the street outside your house. A 214 mile an hour top speed, which is probably enough. And if you want to buy one today, the better part of £4 million. Okay, the final car on my list, and it's the C63 Black Series Coupe. You know, the one with those swollen wheel arches and that optional wing on the back. Looks fantastic, so tough. Lots of them had a matte black paint job, which just suited the car really well. Now, this was one of the first models that for me really demonstrated that an AMG could be more than just fire and brimstone, that it could actually be a sharp, accurate, responsive, agile driver's car as well. One of the really special things about this Black Series is the quality of the damping. So you look at it and it looks like a road racer, like it's going to beat you up over a bumpy road, but it really doesn't. It's supple and fluid and composed. AMG did such a good job with that. And then, of course, up front, you've got one of the finest engines ever built. Very similar, in fact, to the engine you'll find in the SLS AMG Black Series. It's that 6.2 litre, normally aspirated V8, which sounds so good. And it pulls so hard in that car. It's quite a lively thing, that Black Series. The traction control seems quite lazy. It only steps in when you really need it. So in the rain in particular, you have to be on your guard. But my word, what a brilliant thing to drive. So there we have it, our top 5 Mercedes AMGs of all time. But please let us know in the comments what I've left off, what shouldn't be on my list. And remember as well to subscribe to the CarGurus YouTube channel.